Hello, good morning. It's Monday. I don't know how you're all doing, but I know this weekend I had a little space to have a lot of feelings, and I had far more feelings than I thought. And yeah, for some of you, that might be every day, that you might have had a little space at the weekend. If you are continuing to work and don't work weekends, to have those feelings, or you might be having those feelings at another time. So whatever you're feeling or thinking, this time is for us to just take some breaths, check in with ourselves, and just do a little somatic work of grounding and orienting. So thank you for joining me for another morning. As ever, wherever you're at, whatever you're feeling, let's start with our breath. And just let's just take 3 breaths together. And of course, you go at your own lung capacity, please. Remembering that you can make noise on the out breath, that feels really good. When those noises don't have to be pretty when you make a noise on the out breath. Yeah. Starting from breath. And then just take a moment, as always, when we get started, to check in with yourself. You can close your eyes if you want to, but you don't have to. But we're just turning inwards. And just notice how you're doing. Notice how fast your heart is beating, whether your breathing is deep or shallow, whether your muscles are tense or relaxed, and which ones are tense and which ones are relaxed. Even if you feel pretty tense, there's probably somewhere in your body that feels neutral at the very least. Sometimes it's our feet or hands for a lot of people, but not for everybody. Even if it's just one of the hairs on your head, what feels neutral or okay this morning, and breathing into that. And take a moment to notice what it feels like to slow down and breathe and pay attention to yourself. It might be comfortable, uncomfortable. What's happening right now for you? Whatever it's happening for you, it's okay. Try to notice with as much curiosity and as much non-judgment as you can handle in this moment. Breathing and noticing. For now, that's all we're doing. And see as you're slow down and breathe and notice if you can let yourself feel the support of whatever is supporting you in this moment, whether it's the floor, the chair, the couch, the bed, the earth itself, whatever is supporting you physically in this moment. And see if you can sink into that support even 1% more. I always notice I tend to sit up on my chair, and then I can kind of sit down a little more comfortably. So this morning, one practice that I want to share with you, it's a practice that we might want to do when there is a lot of activation, a lot of agitation, a lot of stuff that's getting churned up. And I don't know about you, but I think there's a lot of stuff that's getting churned up a lot of the time at the moment. So this practice might seem a little dorky. Again, it's another practice from somatic experiencing. And what I would invite you to do is to move your arms and legs at the same time, very, very slowly, almost like if you're in slow motion. And if all you can move are kind of your fingers and wiggling your toes, that's okay too. If you can lift up your arms and legs, imagine that you are a seaweed at the bottom of the sea or a sea anemone that's just moving very, very slowly, moved by the current. And just kind of very slowly moving your arms, moving your legs and feet, just very slowly. You might want to kind of lay on the floor if you want to get the full seaweed, and kind of put your arms and legs up in the air and move them slowly. Or you might want to do it just sitting on your chair, and your movements can be bigger or smaller depending where you're at this morning. And as you're moving, notice what's happening in your body once more with curiosity and as much non-judgment as you can handle. And then, we'll do it maybe for a couple of breaths more. Just moving our arms and legs and fingers and toes very slowly. And then coming to rest, of course, whenever you want. I feel like I had enough for now. You can always do it for longer after this live thing that I'm trying to do. So yeah, and take a breath and notice how it feels after you've done this exercise. Then let's take a moment to orient ourselves to where we are. So you might want to kind of look around, moving your neck. Orient yourself to the sounds around you or the sensations of the air touching your body. I can hear the pitter-patter of rain where I am. I can notice it's a little bit grayer outside today. There's a squirrel running up a branch. What do you notice where you're at? And maybe see if you can rest your gaze or rest your listening on something that feels pleasant or comfortable or even just neutral. I have a picture with like a nice kind of deep pink on the wall, so I'm going to look at that for a couple of breaths. And see what it feels like to just kind of take a moment to rest your gaze or listen to something that's neutral or pleasant or comfortable, and know that you can do that throughout your day. You can orient yourself to where you are, notice what's around you, and see if there's something that feels comfortable or pleasant or neutral. I'm going to breathe into that even just for a moment. There's always a moment to kind of stop and breathe. So thank you again for joining me with the somatic practices. I hope they're helpful to you, whatever you're doing right now, whatever relationship you are in to this moment in time. And I hope you have a good and safe Monday, and see you tomorrow. Bye.